I'll keep that in mind. Hopefully the video looks alright throughout. Looks like the camera doesn't really know what to focus on, but whatever. Maybe once my hands are in frame it will. I'll wait like 2 or 3 more minutes and then I'll start. Alright, cool. You can see my hands. I mean, you can see the whole cutting board, so I guess that's really what matters. You can hear the water pretty clearly. Is it peaceful and calming? Yeah, there's not very many audio options, unfortunately. There's just like mute mic or turn mic back on. So. So peaceful, so calming. Yeah, maybe I should leave the water on. I open the windows so that way I don't set off a smoke alarm. So maybe you'll just hear the outside sounds. Okay, I think I'm gonna get started. If other people show up, that'll be cool. So, what we're gonna make today is what I call white people jambalaya. And so, it's like rice, tomato sauce, sausage, and a bunch of vegetables in a pot. And the best thing about this recipe is that it's very easy to make and very hard to mess up. You can kind of like just kind of improvise with how much you want of any given thing and it will still taste pretty good. So the first thing we're going to do, because it takes the longest, is we're going to start the rice. And the rice can get finished early and it doesn't affect anything. So this part I have to give you a ride around. I don't necessarily yet. Let's clear off the cutting board. I just wanted to show what we were working with. So we're going to do 2 full cups of rice. Now you're supposed to rinse your rice, and I'm going to do it. To be honest, most of the time I don't rinse my rice, and I can't really tell the difference. But since I'm streaming, I'm going to do it every step of the way. So you're going gonna come on a little ride with me here. So basically, you're just gonna... I have a nice detachable faucet. I'm just using, like, mild water. It's not hot or cold. So you fill it up. I have a second container underneath the strainer. Just kind of give it a little mix. Easy peasy. Then you dump out the water and repeat. They recommend doing it 3 times. So, from all of the rice prep videos I've watched. Yeah, it's to remove the starch from the rice, exactly, Craig. But because we're mixing in tomato sauce and water later in this recipe, I don't have too much of a problem with the rice being sticky, but I still want to show people how to do it if they make their own rice. This is kind of universal for any rice dish. You want to start off by rinsing the rice off. Yeah, Rice Prep Corp, exactly. The people who make all of the rice cooking videos on YouTube, that's who I meant by they. So one more time here. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky, I'm just holding it in my hand. Oh, I still have my bot on? Well, you're gonna get all of the smash spam in the chat. Okay, so we're gonna take this over to the rice cooker. I might need both hands for this, but I'll show you. I have a handy dandy little rice cooker. Honestly, if you make any rice dish, I highly recommend a rice cooker. It simplifies rice cooking so much. Like, honestly, I'm just about to dump this in, put water in, and ignore this for the rest of the stream. So, but yeah, I need both hands to do this, so I'm just gonna hang you guys up for a second while I put this in the rice cooker. Okay, I put it in the rice cooker. You need, actually it's different for each device, so, you gotta kind of learn how your rice cooker works. But generally it's recommended you do 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. So we're gonna put, I do a little less, so I'm gonna put 3.5 cups of water in the rice cooker and then just call it good. Sorry, I know there's nothing on stream yet, but we'll get to the chopping right after this. Just gonna turn this on real quick. 2 buttons. And now the rice is out of the way for the rest of the stream until I gotta mix it in. So, our handy dandy cutting board. We're gonna start with garlic and the sausage. I'll do the garlic first. Oh wait, let me start with making sure your utensils are ready to cook. So I've got a knife. This is a honing rod. I'm just going to use another little knife here. So when you're cooking, sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming. So what I recommend doing is getting out all of the things you're going to cook with and set them out so that way you don't forget anything later. And obviously while I'm streaming, I was more than likely going to forget something, so I made sure to get everything out ahead of time. But anyway, anytime before you do a task with your knife, you should use a honing rod it keeps it sharp for longer, so you don't have to sharpen your knives as often. But this does sort of cut off a little bit of steel, so don't do it over your cutting board. We're just gonna do it over the ground here. Let me see how it looks on the stream. Make sure I'm in frame. Okay, stand forward a little. Okay, so we're just gonna do 20 reps on both sides. We'll just do one side at a time. I didn't start counting. We'll call that 9. Okay, now the other side, my brother showed me how to do this. The safer way is to hold the rod down on a piece of table, and then you can do like that. But you can also do it standing up, which is how I'm going to do it. But obviously you're pulling the knife towards you, so you have to be much more careful. Okay, 20 on each side. So, that's out of the way. Now we can just get to chopping. Hold on. Angle this down a little. Okay. I was thinking about doing the garlic off stream beforehand because it's kind of annoying, but we'll do it. This one definitely takes me longer than everything else. So we're going to use this whole clove of garlic. Maybe, yeah, we're going to use the whole thing. Heck it. So I just cut off the bottom, which makes it easier to separate all the parts. Just want to get all the bulbs and pull off all of the outer skin here. You don't want any of that in your soup or in your skillet. So to get these apart, garlic is pretty tricky. You can do this by hand without crushing them, but like if you wanted to keep whole cloves, but that takes me forever, honestly. And this was actually a pretty huge piece of garlic, but whatever, we're cooking it all. Like I said, there isn't very specific proportions for this, so it's not a big deal. So the easiest way to do this, you set your knife, just drop a fist down on the knife, and that will cause the garlic to crush a little bit, so that way you can pull it apart. You can pull off all of the outer shell. Do you guys hear the neighbor mowing their lawn? Probably. If you could hear the water, I assume you can hear the neighbor too. You're more likely to cut yourself with a dull knife than a sharp knife. Oh yeah. Yeah. Good comment by Danny there. With a dull knife, you have to use more force to cut things, and you have less control over where the knife might go after you cut through something. So you're more likely to slide off of your target, which is why it's always important to use a sharp knife. Just like with any sort of handiwork, using the proper tools for the job makes it the safest. This one's tough. These more flat ones are not crushing very well. I always watch professional chefs do this, and they'll, like, peel tons of garlic in, like, 20 seconds, and I have no idea how they do it. Even watching them and trying to replicate, I'm just like, man, this garlic doesn't crush as easy as they make it look. I guess it's just probably years of repetitions. You'll notice when working with garlic, your hands will get really sticky. So you just try not to handle it too much, because that'll get annoying. God, this actually is a lot of garlic. Okay, make sure none of the outside part is on your cutting board. So we're just gonna roughly chop all these. We have a garlic press at my house, but I'd rather show off my knife skills, even though I'm not very good with a knife. But because it doesn't really matter how these turn out, you can just group them all together and chop them up. Because the garlic is there for flavor. As long as it's just small and is going to mix in, it doesn't really matter what way you chop it. And we're going to do a couple sequences of chopping here. So we did one pass, cut up most of it. You can still see there's a lot of big chunks in there. Nothing's really like that uniform. So there's a couple different ways you can do it from here. You can just kind of go back through again. But like I said, the garlic gets kind of sticky. So I try not to touch it too much. Okay, so we're getting smaller here. So one thing I like to do once it's about this size is just kind of like point your knife in the middle and then go across. Oh, if you see anything fall off the cutting board, I made sure to sanitize this work area beforehand, so everything is still food safe afterwards. Make sure you're always working in a clean kitchen. Yeah, the cleaning the kitchen wasn't included in the stream. But it's equally as important as any of the cooking you see happening. Okay, just going back over it one more time. You don't really want to chew on pieces of garlic, so I want these all to be basically as small as I can get them. Honestly, this is probably good, but I'm going to do one more pass. See how all of this garlic is starting to stick to my hands? And this time I'm just going to go across. Alright, so we got some pretty good sliced up garlic here. And I'm just going to throw this into the pan for now. Oh, I didn't show what pan we were working with today. I was thinking about doing this in my wok. I've never tried cooking it in the wok before, but I thought this would look cooler if it was in the wok. But I decided against it since I've never tried it before going live today. That's much more garlic than you need. Okay, maybe I'll set some to the side. Usually the garlic bulbs aren't that big. Let me get something to put like half of this in. We use a lot of garlic here, so I'm sure the rest of this garlic will find a happy home later. Alright. Real quick. Oh no, I gotta sneeze. Okay. Maybe I'll do this over the oven. Let me spin the camera. So right now we just got an empty pot. I'm going to add some vegetable oil to the bottom. Oh no, I didn't pre-open the vegetable oil and now it won't open. Do I have another one? Embarrassing. Hold up. Bottle opener here, but you didn't see that. Okay, so I've worked with this recipe a lot, so I just kind of wing it when it comes to putting in oil. Basically, it's just kind of enough to coat the bottom. I hope you can see that. And like a little bit of a pool of oil. But if you look up a recipe for like a, you know, when you're cooking, make sure you follow recipes, I guess. Unless you know what you're doing. So we're just going to throw the garlic in there for now. We're not going to start the heat yet. Because the next part takes me a little bit longer than I'd like to keep this garlic heating up. Okay. Back over here. This is not 2 p.m. maybe. Let's see. I'm never gonna get that camera angle right again. Show cats. Down a little. That'll probably be good. Okay, so next we're going to do the sausage. You can kind of do whatever sausage you like in this. We just use Eckrich smoked sausage. But I'd probably recommend like looking for something Cajun seasoned. So these are like, you know, your protein. You don't want to cut them too small. My girlfriend has complained about me making them too small a couple of times. So that, you know. And again, this is kind of like rough. It doesn't need to be scientific. I'm actually doing this way quicker than I thought I would take. The camera's on me, I'm under pressure, so I'm like going through this pretty quick here. Usually I'm pretty slow at cutting. I also was just hanging out with my brother yesterday, and he was giving me cutting tips, so maybe that's it. Okay, so once they get a little smaller, they're kind of hard to control. So if it's too much, just, you know, set it aside. Work at your own pace. You don't, you know, if dinner takes an hour and 10 minutes instead of an hour, it's not that big of a deal. As long as you're being safe while you're doing it. I'm probably cutting those too thin right there. I'll just cut this one. Okay. Oh, this is something important that I should have mentioned. The sausage I work with is all pre-cooked. This is safe to eat right now. Like, I just put that piece in my mouth. So, you don't have to worry about any cross-contamination or anything. But, if you were working with raw meats, you should, at the very least, not use the same cutting board. I would say use a different cutting board, a different knife. Like, if I was doing this with chicken, I would have a separate knife and a separate cutting board just for the meat. But because this is fully cooked and safe, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't matter that much. So I'm going to throw that in the pot real quick. I'm not going to move the camera because it was too much of a hassle last time. Now I'm going to start the fire real quick. Just at like medium heat. And give it a quick stir so that oil gets on all the sausage and the garlic gets mixed in. So, how this works from here is that it's kind of like, as you finish chopping each thing, you just kind of throw it into the pot. It's pretty easy, like I said. So the next thing we're going to work with is the peppers. Yeah, the peppers will be fine. Let me check chat really quick. Okay. People just having casual conversation. Yeah, let's do it the way I normally do it. So I learned how to core peppers from Subway, from my time working at Subway. Just pull out the top, pull out the spongy parts inside the pepper. These parts you want to try and get as much out as possible. And then if there's any remaining seeds, pat those out as well. And there, you have a seedless pepper. The other one real quick. So see, there's some seeds in there. There's this core stuff. And again, this is how I do it at Subway. So if I'm doing it wrong, so is that national corporation. Or international corporation, I suppose. Now, 1 or 2 seeds isn't going to kill anybody. These aren't like hot peppers or anything. But for texture, you don't really want seeds in your meal. So I'm still kind of going back and forth. I've watched some cooking videos on how to cut peppers. One way, I just like cut it in half, and then I try. Oh yeah, I was doing it this way. Cut off the end so you can flatten it. This, and then while it's flat, give myself some space here, just kind of cut strips. Like so. And then these are two, so when you're working with vegetables that are meant to like be eaten just the vegetable itself, you want to consider how much somebody can fit in their mouth, I guess. So these are kind of huge, you know? If you get this on a fork, this is going to be like way too much pepper for one bite. So I think we'll third these, because these peppers were pretty tall. Like so. Real quick, we'll give a stir over to the sausage. That camera angle isn't good enough. There we go. We'll be up here. I'll have to tighten something. No, it won't stay up there. Alright, this is the best we're gonna get. So you just want to stir this occasionally, so that way it doesn't get cooked unevenly or start burning to the bottom. I might just have this cook a little slower, so that way I can slow down in the kitchen a little while I'm talking to you guys. Come back over this way. Sorry. Okay. So, that's 1/2 of one pepper. And that worked pretty well, so I think I'm going to stick with that method for now. Okay, next one. Gonna do the same thing. Basically, we're making these little matchsticks. Easy to pick up with a fork or a spoon. Oh no. I poked myself. Hold on. I'll be right back. I didn't lose a finger. How much do peppers stick down? Not that much. They maintain their shape pretty well. I just poked myself a tiny bit. It's not a big deal, but obviously you don't want blood to get in your food that you're cooking. So I gotta go get a bandage really quick. Go back to cooking. This is just like chop. Okay. All bandaged up, ready to rock. Okay. That's probably just nerves from doing a cooking stream. I did stir the sausage one more time while you guys weren't looking. Okay, peppers are done. I don't necessarily want to throw the peppers in yet, so let's see if we can do the onion at the same time. So the onion is going to be really easy. What we're going to do is cut off this end. Stand it up. Oh, we're going to cut off this end too because we are making sliced, not diced onions. So just really quick, get that end off. Then we're going to split the onion in half. Peel off the outer skin. Okay, we got 2 half onions here. Ice cream truck's coming by. You guys want some SpongeBob ice cream? And we're just gonna... What we're gonna do to try and make it match the size of the peppers is we're gonna do slices all the way down. I don't want to release this. Yeah, this is getting dangerous. I'll just cut these a little differently. But anyway, we get all these slices, and as you can obviously see, these slices are much bigger than the peppers. So we're just going to line them up and cut it down the middle one time. Maybe we'll do thirds, just like the peppers. That'll probably be better. And again, this is all just kind of rough because it's all just going to get thrown into the pot. It doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure it's easy to eat. We're going to do the same thing with the other one. Line these up and do the same thing. Sorry. My cutting board is getting a little cramped, so this is getting hard to do. But it's alright. Like I said, as long as it gets cut up easy enough to eat, that's all that matters. Okay. That's probably good enough. So we're going to throw all this stuff in the pot. I'm really sad that this upward angle is not locking in. Okay. This is stir real quick. Do you guys have a good view of the pot from there? Kind of. Okay. This is the part where I make a mess and my girlfriend rolls her eyes at me every time. We'll see if I can do it. Not bad. I only missed one piece of pepper. Why do you have queen? So I'm going to mix all this stuff in really quick. My girlfriend is... What do you want? The Windex? For what? Why do you need that right now? Just come get it.
No, I'm not coming in there. Hi.
Okay, hold on. This is also part of cooking. Distractions. Okay, so I just had to hand my girlfriend some cleaning products, so I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Okay, onions, peppers, sausage, garlic, all in the pan. Now we're going to add our tomato sauce. Can you open it? Oh my gosh, this can's not cold already. this can also has stream nerves. Okay. 1 can of tomato sauce straight in. And then we're also going to we're just going to fill the can back up with water. I do it about 3/4 of the way full of water. We're going to add that to the pot as well. Stir that in. Going to turn up the heat a little bit. Now we're going to season this baby. Just simple salt and pepper. If you like spicy stuff, you can add Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning, or any Cajun seasoning, but I see people use the Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning a lot, so I assume it's pretty good. This is a pretty big dish, so I'm putting a lot of salt and pepper. It may seem like a lot, but because this dish is like 8 servings, it's not actually that much. Mix that in real quick. If you like spicy food as well, right here at this step, you could add jalapenos or any kind of pepper you like. And I personally love spicy food, but my girlfriend does not. So I just add hot sauce at the end, instead of cooking anything into the pan. Okay. That's going to heat up and kind of bubble off some of the moisture. But while that is doing that, we're going to come back to the cutting board and continue the process. Okay, that looks good. Let's see what's changed. What if I'm white? This is the white version of the recipe, Ragnilla, so don't worry. Okay, the last 2 vegetables that are going in. Actually, is a tomato considered a fruit? I never know. But the last 2 things going in are going to be broccoli and tomatoes. Actually, we'll do the tomato first, so I can just throw that in real quick. I just like a little bit of fresh tomato to balance out like the canned tomato sauce flavor. And we happen to have, this part is optional. We've made it with and without a fresh tomato before. So right here I'm just cutting out the core. Obviously the knife that I'm using for chopping doesn't have a pointy edge, so I'm just using a cheap little knife to cut out the core here. At Subway we had tomato cores, but I don't have such fancy utilities here. Okay. Tomatoes, I've never looked up how to cut tomatoes, and I don't really know the best way, so I just kind of improvise. Just cut them down to little pieces. You can slice them. Right now I'm quartering these a bunch. What I was going to say is you can slice them sort of like you would put on a sandwich, and then just cut that into 8 pieces like a pizza. But we're going to do these little pyramids today. The tomato, since it's not very, like it's very soft and squishy, it will just kind of mix in. The skin is holding together, even through this sharp knife. I don't know what time it is. 15 minutes? Yeah, 15 minutes. We might get this done in time. I wanted to finish so that way I can host Gucci afterwards. Community gaming night. I might be playing Mario Kart with him tonight. After my stellar Mario Kart performance at Replay Cafe this week. I'm kind of hyped on Mario Kart. Like I said earlier, those are sanitized surfaces, so it doesn't really matter if I set anything on them. I'm going to throw these tomatoes in really quick, and then come back for the broccoli. Our rice is done, which is nice. I'm going to stir the pot real quick. Broccoli is kind of hard to prepare, in my opinion. You can break off legs at this point, but then you get to this core in the center, and what I like to do is just kind of chop it like that, then like that. These trunks are still a little tall. Okay, broccoli is ready to go in. So this is the last thing we're chopping. You can just hang out and watch me stir this stuff for the rest of it. Hey, the rice cooker is open now. We'll just close it. I was using the rice cooker to prop up my phone here. And my girlfriend put the Windex in the screen. That's a hold on. You don't want any of your non-edible cleaning products anywhere near your food. Just gonna wash my hands again real quick. Broccoli. mix this in. And now that the broccoli is mixed in, we just kind of have to wait. So, what I'm going to do in the meantime is clean up. Let's see what KJez has to say. Dang, I didn't disable the pick lobby music option. Alright, so we're going to come back over to our cooking area. And the easiest way to clean up after your area, if you have a trash can you can move around, just bring your trash can over. I've just got some sanitizer spray here. Gonna spray down the area where we had food. They're shiny, shimmery, safe to cook on again if you need to chop something else up. Oh man, you could definitely see my stomach there for a second. This is probably the last time before I add the rice. A beautiful little melody of things in here. And there's so many good things about this recipe. It's super easy to prepare, super easy to cook. It only requires one dish, you know, and then whatever you use to prepare things. And it makes a ton of food for a little effort. That looks nothing like a burger. Reg, did you watch Hachima's burger making stream? It feels like I'm watching a nightmare. She like makes chicken and noodles to put on a burger. No bugs involved in that one. Alright, so to be honest, this just kind of has to cook for a minute. You guys just get to watch this pot simmer. I'm going to do the hand dishes real quick on the other side of the frame. So how's everybody's night going? What are you guys up to? Are you having a relaxed Sunday? How did you do in Smash World Tour, David? I can't hear you. Oh, I was just saying, how's everybody's night going? Alright, this is almost done. The same cutting board twice. Can't believe none of the cats have appeared. They usually crap in this room. Yeah, usually the cats come in to help me cook. Man, this not being able to hold up is kind of annoying. I gotta move the rice cooker for a sec, because I gotta put the rice in. So, you guys aren't gonna have anything to look at for a second here? Actually, can you see this rice? It's very hot. Make sure we're on target here. Okay. Gonna add the last ingredient, turn down the heat. And then you just mix the rice in. Voila! Let me get in a bowl. Yeah, and if it comes out too liquidy at this point, you can let it cook for a couple more minutes and let the water kind of cook out of it. But it'll be good at this point, either way. So there you go. There's the finished product. It's super delicious, also. So, but I'm not going to give you guys an eating stream. No mukbang, sorry. Anyway, I hope you had fun watching. I'm going to end the stream now and go eat dinner. Oh yeah, if you like it spicy, again, I've given a couple recommendations. You can use Cajun sausage earlier on. You can add Cajun seasoning. And I also recommend the Slap Your Mama's Red Hot Sauce to add to this. But I don't have any with me right now, so I'll probably just be adding some Frank's Red Hot. Like, casual. Anyway, it was very fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye-bye!